before I get slaughtered, that's a whole another story. You don't need to know about that. But before I get killed, I want to take a moment to do a video. Now, I never ever thought in my Yu-Gi-Oh career that I would ever hear these words uttered together in a sentence. Dark Hole is a bad card. What in the yippee-ki-yay motherfucking fuck? Dark Hole will never be a bad card. Never. Unless, you know, they invent cards down the line that say this card is unaffected by Dark Hole. And they just build a deck around on that shit. Which they, you know, they kind of doing with the Trap Hole monsters. But that's not the point of this video. Pretty soon it'll be Dark Hole monsters. But whatever. Dark Hole will never be a bad card. Never. And if you really believe that it will, and you think it's just a bad card now, give us players who still play it and like it, bring it up to 2. Make it semi-limited. Or just, if you don't worry about that shit, take it off the ban list altogether. Give us 3 Dark Holes if you ain't worried about that shit. That's just me being stupid for a minute. That'll never happen. Maybe. But I can see why people would say, oh, it's a bad card. You got decks like Evil Swarm and Prophecy. They got their own free Forbidden Lance. I can just protect shit. You know? You got Elemental Dragon Dracossack. All you'll do is destroy the tokens. And then he'll get more next turn. If he doesn't die. You know, you got a lot of this protection stuff that's going around now. You got lances, which are pretty much staples now in every deck. You got dress. You got safe zones running around. I mean, I can see why you wouldn't want to run Dark Hole. But by no means is Dark Hole a bad fucking card. It's free destruction. Just because you don't have to pay 2,000 to half your life points to destroy shit doesn't mean it's a bad card. Dark Hole will never be a bad card. The fact of the matter is, you can use it to bait out shit. You can bait out those solemn warnings, or not solemn warnings, fuckity fuck. You can bait out solemn judgment. Make them pay half their life points when you got shit to do. When other shit to do, when you don't want it stopped with a judgment. You can bait out that infestation play, because you know they have it. They searched the motherfucker out. You can make them go down 1. And then next turn, before they can get another one, if they don't already have another one, you can be like, okay, compulse, get rid of that motherfucker. That's just me though. I like to play this shit. I like Dark Hole, always have, always will, because it's free negation. Not free negation, my fuck. Can't fucking get my head straight today. But whatever, it's free destruction. It's fucking Dark Hole. And it's... But like I said, I can see why people would not want to run it right now, especially if you go to big events where all you're going to be first in is these decks that just has ways to stop it. But you just, you know, you're both minusing 1 card. You're minusing a Dark Hole, which if it's not needed, then you're not really losing anything except a spot in your deck. But it's Dark Hole. I mean, come on. It's just like nobody wants to main MST anymore. Nobody wants to even use MST anymore. Old, you know, Elemental Dragons don't use back row. If they do, I'll just put a breakthrough skill engrave for them. But there's other decks out there. You got to remember that. You're not always going to play these decks. Every now and then you're going to play a deck which Dark Hole's just going to fuck them up. And then you're like, yeah, I'm glad I had this. But again, this is just my personal preference on it. I like Dark Hole. I don't like Solemns. I already did a video on that. I'll always play Dark Hole until they get rid of it. You know, Dark Hole is not a bad card. It's just not as relevant as it used to be. Don't get all dramatic. Don't be like, oh, this shit's terrible. Fucking It destroys all monsters on the field. Damn, that's too easy to stop now. This is a bad fucking card. Shit, damn, fuck. It's not a bad card. It's just irrelevant right now against certain matchups. And even then, it can still be used. It's not like these decks are invulnerable to it. There'll still be those one rare moments when you can be like Dark Hole, and your opponent will be like, oh shit, I ain't got none. I guess you destroyed all my shit. It all depends on how your opponent draws or searches. If they don't think you run Dark Hole, they don't think they need to protect from Dark Hole, well shit, then you set. Plus, you know, how much destruction do you assume your opponent's gonna stop? With Torrentials at 2, Mirror Force at 2, you got all these other back rolls that are mass destruction as well. There you go. You know, you're not gonna be able to stop all of it. And Dark Hole is just one more way to waste their resources in trying. But that's just my views. As I said, Dark Hole is not a bad card. Thanks for watching.